Hello, it's Amy with Just a Little Ink. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. And today I'd love to share with you a little post-it note holder that I originally created for friends that I'd met at my backstage event I went to the end of August. So without further ado, I'd like to get started. So to create this simple post-it note holder, you're going to want a piece of cardstock. I picked a piece, this is Lemon Lolly, that will coordinate with your post-it notes. You don't have to do that. It could be a coordinating color if it's not the same. I found something that was close. This is cut at 3 inches by 8 inches. And I've scored it already at 3 inches. Oh, hold on, where did I put it? No, at 1 1/4 inches, 1 5/8 inches, 4 5/8 inches, and 5 inches. And then we're going to use the basic borders dies to create a nice tab on the end that folds over. You're also going to want a couple pieces that will layer. I didn't write them down, but I will put those in the comments of this video so that you know. I've got a piece of basic white, which is what we're going to do with our stamp on the front, and then a coordinating piece. I chose Gorgeous Grape. Put those aside. I'm going to use for this project the By My Side stamp set. And I'm going to show you a nice tip using our basic black Stampin' Right marker, and used to sell the Stamp-A-Majig years ago. I pulled it back out since we don't have another stamp positioning tool for the moment. But I'm going to show you how you can take a greeting like this one that goes all the way across and split it up, which is what I had done on the front of my card. So it's an omitting technique, kind of a fun thing. So all that to say, let's start. So let's start off with the base first. I'm going to grab out my bone folder. I'm hoping you see all of this well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold. This is my top tab. And I made this magnetic. And the magnets that I used, I'd gotten off of Amazon, but I've had them quite some time. And when I did looking, I didn't find ones that were quite as thin as the ones I'm using. However, you can still find some thin magnets through Amazon. And so check your local craft stores. Stampin' Up! Does not sell magnets. So I'm going to pull out the large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because, grab all these things out of the way. The basic borders dies are long and skinny and might be able to do this otherwise, but I think it's best to have it. So I'm hoping you see all of this in my screen. I'm going to put my maybe it would have been best not to have scored it ahead. I'm going to throw it in on top. I've got my plate, my base plate, number 2 and number 3. Number 3 is our cutting plates. Then I used just the point, and I want to put it on. And this is, you'll see now why I kind of needed it to be the larger of our machines. I love my mini especially for videos. I use it on my desk all the time. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, just mainly because I want to keep it from sliding around. So I'm using some retired washi tape just to kind of lock it in place. I'm going to take my plate number 3, stick it on top, and then I'm going to roll through. It'll creak and crack a little bit. There we go. And I can slide that out of the way. Okay, so then I've got there. We can take care of this later. All right. Get it out of the way. So then you'll see that then it folds, and I have a nice cute tab on the front. I'm mostly straight some days. So what I've done is then I've taken, I bought these little mini, these are larger ones. These are the ones I'm wanting. I'm going to slide off just 2 of them. Like I said, they are extremely thin. Which is great for small projects like this. So what I've done then is I took glue dots, our mini glue dots. I just want 1 of these at this point. I'll use the other one in a minute. I'm going to take and grab. I find with glue dots it's easiest to lay the object, whatever it might be, onto the glue dot and then pull it off. And I'm going to line it up here on the end of my little tab. So I've got it there. Perfect. And then I found it's best to let the magnet attach so that you're not putting it on the opposite pole. Then I take and I line up my glue dot on the bottom. There we are. And I did it this way. So grab my Post-it notes in here just to kind of have it lined how I want. I did it first simply because then that second one gets hidden underneath what we're putting here. So there you see I've got it attached. I'm going to pull this out of the way. To attach this and hold it in more firmly, you could either use our Stampin' Seal Plus or I'm going to use tear and tape. I love our tear and tape. If you don't have any, you're going to want some. It's so much better than the old sticky tape we used to have. And I know you can still buy that stuff at the store. But I love our tear and tape. Easy to use. You're going to want that. I could see you making these for Christmas gifts. I could see them as just little, friendship gifts. And I love the take your pick tool. I'm going to pull it out. If you don't have a take your pick tool, it's a quick, inexpensive little tool to add to your order. Oh, damage on tipping over. Haven't had that happen before. First time for everything. So very sorry. So I'm going to grab my tear and tape off the little sticky pieces. Make sure I stick it in here correctly and not upside down. Line it up. Most sticky notes are about 3 inches by 3 inches. That's the measurements of our little notepad holder here. So I've got my here, set that aside. Then put my pokey away. I'm going to grab my little half sheet of Pierce mat. I like to have my Pierce mat. I got this out of the screen. There we go. Make sure you've got my information. Host code that's current. I keep that on my blog all the time, justalilink.com. However, you can order 24/7 from my Stampin' Up store, justalilink.stampinup.net. Okay, so I'm going to grab out a couple things here. I want to grab this one little girl. I kind of just really liked the little girl that had the bird. That she was perfect to use on this. So I'm going to use my Tuxedo Memento ink. Ink up the little girl. Actually, I don't need my Pierce mat for this one. I don't know why I was thinking I needed it. Okay, I'm going to put her toward the bottom here and off to the left-hand side. Okay, so I don't want her to be too close to the top. Okay, like so. I'll clean that soon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close my stamp pad. Don't let it dry out. And then I had told you about taking, so I'm going to use my T and my clear sheet And again, I told you I've got my black Stampin' Right marker. It is our marker that you can buy individually. And then I'm going to pull out the Friends Like You stamp. Do I have the right one? I think I do. I think it's, nope, that one's Life. Oh yes, Life is Better with Friends Like You. And I'm going to grab my stamp block. It doesn't matter as much if I'm straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up using the brush marker. See, I'm going to do Life is Better. Actually, on this one, you know what I'm going to do? I did this, I believe, before. I'm going to ink actually the whole thing. And I'm going to stamp it down here, and then I will know what parts I need to see. I like to keep a scrap piece of paper around when I'm doing this so that when I clean, I know that I've got all the ink off. So I'm going to wipe off. I've got a little portion of Simply Chamois. I keep it in a little baggie. So I want to ink, make sure I have nothing showing. Okay. Then I can line up, and I know that I can get Life is Better. I don't want it too high, remember, because I've got that point that's going to come in. So I'm going to come down a little ways. I want Life is Better right there. I'm going to put my T, and I'm going to remove this. Then I'm going to only ink up Life is Better and not the rest. So I've got Life is Better. Hopefully I didn't move anything when I was coming. And I stamp that. Then I'm going to grab again my Simply Chamois piece. I'm going to make sure I do a good job cleaning that up. Okay. Stamp it again onto my scratch paper. Okay. So then I came in and I said, okay, let's just do width. And so I came and I grabbed here, grabbed my T. Okay. It will hold there. Then I'm only going to ink up width. This is an old technique, one of the first ones I think I ever learned. So width, again, clean width. Stamp again on my scratch just to make sure I don't have any ink on there. Then I'm pretty sure I'm only going to be able to fit Friends. So we're only going to ink up Friends. Line up my pad so I know where to have that at. Where is that going to line up at? Line up the T again. Pull it away. Breathe on it if it's been a few seconds. Come down. Width. We've got Friends. And I think I can get away with Like You. You'll get just a faint little bit of color that's still on here if you don't do this. So then we're going to come, drop below, go ahead and get my T ready. And then I'm going to finish inking up those last couple words, Like You. It's a fun, simple tip that makes it fun, like so. So then we'll clean that up. We'll close this marker up, set this aside. While we're there, we'll clean little girl up so ink isn't still sitting on that. You can then run your sheet through the sink. You could wipe it down with your Simply Chamois. You've got some options. We'll set that out of the way. I'm hopeful Stampin' Up! Will come out with another stamp positioning tool soon, but in the meantime, this does work. So then what I've got is I've got this little girl. Inky fingers. I've got this little girl. So I'm going to use to color her the, and I should link these up. I believe these are the number 1 and 2 from the Flesh Tones. This one is SU 900. So I'm going to come in, go around her face. You could then make the skin color whatever you like. Come in quick. And when I use my Stampin' blends, I mean, I sometimes will blend. Oftentimes I do what I refer to as color book coloring with them. So I just find they don't leave lines. They're such a great tool, and I use them all of the time. So I'm going to come and grab her little legs. Got her hands done. Then for her hair, I'm going to use the bronze. This is from our old colors. They're still available. You could choose any color you'd like, but I'm just going to use the bronze. This was, we had bronze and ivory for the longest time with our blends. So it makes great hair colors. Come in like so. Now this stamp set, Life is Better, or excuse me, By My Side, is in our annual catalog. And so it's available long-term, and you can find that in my online store. The mini catalog came out just September the 6th, this past week. And so some great seasonal options that are in there. I would love it if you would choose to order through me, but if you don't, I'm so glad that you stopped by to get some ideas. So from this point on, I want to color my little girl. And so I'm thinking that I want to make my bird the yellow. So I'm going to come in, I think I'm going to use the darker Lemon Lolly. And I'm going to come in and grab just the tip of his tail and his wings. Maybe it's a girl, I don't know. And then I'm going to come in with a light and finish the rest, just to kind of give a little bit of variation between the two. So like so. And then we don't have a gorgeous grape. We don't have gorgeous grape as a blend, but we do have Highland Heather. And so I'm going to use the dark Highland Heather just to come in and grab on her dress. It's the closest thing to gorgeous grape, and it coordinates really well. So I'm going to come in, grab the sides. I tend to use the bullet tips on my blends more than I use the brush tips. If you watch many videos of mine, you're going to note that. Just like so. All right. Then I'm just going to take and use my Stampin' Seal. Turn it over, so use my Stampin' Seal. Get some good coverage. Line it up on the front. Just got a slight layer. And I will tell you the measurements of this in my the description of my video. I have to trim that down a little bit. All right. And then, because this is going to get a lot of use, I'm going to open up, and I'm going to actually use some tear and tape on the back, just because I'm convinced that with opening and closing, it's going to lift a little more than normal. So again, use a little bit of tear and tape, goes a long way. Like so, and I might actually grab just a little bit and put it on the ends. So like so. Again, pull out take your pick, put those off, go around. I cut my finger yesterday evening making dinner, peeling some potatoes. Proof that potato peelers are sharp. There we go. Like so. And close to the end. All right, put that back. Grab my little front. You could put anything on the front of these, but I just find that this was I just loved the greeting. I loved the little girl. Certainly could have a young boy on the front too. We have one of those in this set, like so. It covers that up, and then when I fold it, it still will attach. I got a little higher than I wanted to on this, but you get the idea, like so. So thank you again for joining me. I look forward to sharing with you again soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.